Off a beaten path in Leicester, Massachusetts, lies a graveyard steeped in mystery and history. Of what legends that stand are actually true? Is this actually a site of paranormal activity? And if so, why? Today we're going to explore Spidergate Cemetery. Welcome to Dark Hour Paranormal. Join us on this incredible journey to explore urban legend and myth. This is Spider Gates in Leicester, Massachusetts, otherwise known as the Friend Cemetery. This is the Friend Cemetery, otherwise known as Spider Gate Cemetery. And this moniker actually came from the gates, which were installed around the late 1800s and have at least one side had been replaced once. This particular graveyard, as I'm entering now, I feel nothing in the way of what legend talks about. Truth of the matter is, it's quite peaceful here. With all the different places that I've visited that did have paranormal activity or didn't, I've always had some sort of sense walking into a specific space. And this is usually my indicator that there is some sort of activity present on the site.
Growing up, we used to hear stories about spider gates, and they were pretty spooky. So when I actually did get the chance to come here as an adolescent, we had those stories in mind, so we had a spooky experience. I remember just walking in with my friends, and we constantly felt like we had eyes watching us the whole time. Just this uncomfortable feeling. Another time we were here, and the fog seemed to just follow us no matter where we went. It was pretty spooky at the time, but could those stories have just been playing into it and influencing our experience? Because being back here now, it's definitely a lot lighter. It's actually pretty peaceful here. I'm feeling very nice and positive and good vibes being out here. Definitely a different experience than when I was an adolescent.
And what about you? Do you feel anything odd here or stepping into a different sort of space or anything of that accord?
Feels very peaceful compared to other places I've checked out around here. I think this place is at ease at this point. Maybe back in the day, but it seems good now. Energy's positive, beautiful.
There's certainly many reasons we could come up with that may actually contribute to the paranormal activity people have purportedly experienced. If we have enough people en masse to focus on an object or place or time, we might actually be able to imbue that with a specific energy. Is this what's happening at Spidergate Cemetery?
Suspected of some sort of site for satanic activity and other ritual experiences. Truth is, this is where the old Meeting House Friends building used to stand. So there's nothing here in the way of oddities. This is simply where an original construct was.
From the many stories we've heard about spider gates, someone hanging themselves from a tree, to this plot that we're talking about right now being the site of satanic ritual. There's a Holy Cross College not far that actually does practice initiations late at night in hoods and all, which is essentially benign, and the Worcester Friends meeting know all about it. Is it possible that this is what people have seen over the years and thought of satanic ritual? There are also many different constructs on the site that indicate that there were other structures there at a different point in time. So far, paranormal experiences, 0. Logical explanation, 1. Earl Marmaduke's grave has a very interesting story behind it. If you were to walk around it 12 times while saying his name, supposedly he appears. This is folklore at its best, folks, and we can all relate to a story we've heard, something similar growing up.
Where's this trail go to another gate?
There's an Indian burial ground that's out, I think, beyond the stone wall. We'll get there. While I never did find the Indian burial ground, it has definitely been said that there is one deep tucked into the woods. The overgrowth made it very difficult to traverse beyond the walls, and we did the best we could. Now, it's interesting to note that when I was researching the site many years ago and looking through the photos and various video clips that people have posted, I started having the impression that this site was much older than we believe. Of course, on first glance, it's a colonial graveyard. But if there was indeed some sort of ceremonial site or site of burial for Native Americans, maybe that's what people are feeling in the way of being watched or other ghostly phenomena on the site. Now, we have to take into consideration with all of these rumors, because that's essentially what they are, is that nobody is allowed up here at night. The Friends meeting do not permit people to be up here unless you're part of that fraternity wherein they're doing the initiations. They've been carrying it out for years and it's a tradition, and they are essentially harmless to the property. Many vandals have come through this spot and wreaked havoc, including ghost investigators. The Friends meeting would rather this particular graveyard stay friendly and away from the public eye, because there are still people who are being buried there as recently as the 1970s and early 80s. These are friends. These are family members. There are memories in these grounds, and we need to respect those whenever we decide to traverse such a space. In respect to the countless stories, rumors, and folklore that surrounds this place, I have to say, they're unfounded. But if you're looking for a nice daytime visit, a very quiet place tucked deep in Leicester, Massachusetts, then maybe Spider Gates is for you. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Dark Hour Paranormal.